Hi everyone, my name is Pcm.Agostinho and this is going to be the first video of my first career mode. Um, my first career mode in terms of recording, of course, on this on my new channel. So I decided to go with a challenge where I start with a team, a custom team of all Portuguese riders, and we are going to keep that team, all Portuguese riders, all throughout our career. And our main objective is to reach the World Tour. Um, and then after we reach the World Tour, our main objective will be to win every one of the Grand Tours and win the World Championship. So this might be hard to do, might take a lot of time to achieve these goals, but we'll try to do that. There's a few riders, few Portuguese riders that um, are very promising. So if we can get a hold of those riders, I'm thinking about António Morgado and Gonçalo Tavares, for instance. Also, if we can also get at some point João Almeida and maybe other riders that the database creates, maybe we can achieve those goals. I'm not going to try to win cobbled classics or something like that because I don't think that's very realistic. Usually, Portugal doesn't really have cobblers. Um, but yeah, some monuments we can try and see if we can get those. Um, for instance, Liège, Baston Liège, or Lombardia, with one of those guys that I mentioned. Um, and yeah, that's going to be the focus. We'll try to keep a Portuguese sponsor all throughout the career mode. I decided to go with this sponsor, uh, Portugal in 150 seconds. So this is a brand that was created to promote, um, I think at first, Portuguese villages, Portuguese cities, and now also the Portuguese industry and some Portuguese businesses. So I think it's a decent brand to start with. We may change it at some point if we get a better offer from another Portuguese sponsor, but that might not happen. So we might stick with this sponsor. In terms of the team I picked, I tried to pick riders that were on free transfer and also riders that weren't involved in the recent doping scandal with W52 Porto. So I didn't pick those riders. I picked other riders that were free, and most of them aren't really that good. Honestly, we have some riders. I'm going to show you the riders that we have. I just picked 10 riders. All in minimum salaries, and let's see what we got here. So we got this guy, Saavedra is going to be our star in this um, first season. He's decent in mountain and hills, and he's also a pretty decent sprinter uh, in terms of what a climber usually does. He's got 64 sprint, so yeah, I think he's gonna be our main guy. Then we got this other guy, André Domingos. He's pretty reasonable. He's got 68 hills, 66 mountain. And after that, we got this guy here, Marcelo Salvador. He's got 66 mountain, 66 hills. And then we got Vinicius Rodrigues. He's 64, 64. And then this is going to be a guy who's essentially a sprinter, even though he's not that great at sprint. But the interesting thing about this guy is that he is 26 but he has a very high potential as a sprinter. Now, I'm not sure we're going to be able to fulfill that potential. But if we do, he might get to be a pretty decent sprinter and a guy who can certainly get some decent results in terms of achieving our sponsor objectives. So, so yeah, I think covered basically the gist of this career mode, what we're trying to achieve here. Um, the other rider's potential is not great, as you can see. I mean, this guy has a pretty high potential at the top here, but then down here in his stats, it's basically non-existent. So I'm not sure how this works. I think that is not going to be is not going to evolve a lot. That's what I think is going to happen. Every other rider, apart from André Evangelista that I spoke about, every other rider has very low potential. So these riders, they're probably not going to stick around for the next seasons if they don't have a contract, which we'll now have to check out what the situation is. So Saavedra is the guy that you probably want to keep. He doesn't have a contract for next season. And Evangelista also does not have a contract. And if he evolves in sprint, he might be worth it. Might be good for us to keep him around. And these two guys are really weak riders, just 1 star. They probably will be leaving at the end of the season. As for the other ones, they'll have to stick around because they have a contract. We even got one guy here's tied up until 2025 with pretty weak stats, but it is what it is. When you start your career mode, I don't think the contract. I think the contract is kind of random when you pick these guys. So here's what it is. We got this guy for 3 years now, but we got a lot of salary space if we do achieve a sponsor success, which now leads me to seeing our objectives. So we start with an objective of winning a stage in New Zealand Cycle Classic. I'm not sure we have a chance there. I'm gonna make this career mode in extreme difficulty because I think that's the other modes I think is relatively easy, the game, so I'm used to playing extreme difficulty, so we'll try to do that. It's gonna make things harder for us, but I think it's gonna be more rewarding. In terms of this first objective, this is a team time trial. We got 0 chance there, pretty sure. I don't think we have anyone who's reasonably good at time trials. So that first stage doesn't really matter. We'll probably sim that one. The second stage is flat, but it's a bit of a punchy finale there. And it's gonna, unless the field is extremely weak, which I don't think it's going to be the case, I don't see us having much of a chance there. But it's probably our best chance because the other stages, this is a flat, completely flat. We don't have anyone who can sprint decently well. This is another punchy ending. Again, I don't think we're going to be able to achieve this objective. I might even sim through this one because it's not too important and I don't think we have much of a chance there unless the competition is really weak. Then we got top 10 at Figueira Champions Classic. This is a new classic that's going to start this year in Portugal, in Figueira da Foz, so it's a new exciting race, we hope. And this, I think, is a manageable, achievable objective. It is flat, but as we can see, we got a kind of a circuit here with a hill that should favor a guy like Saavedra, for instance. I think he can be in there in that final in that in the end, and probably have a sprint with the better sprinters that aren't that good at hills. Uh, Not in that first group, or even in that first group is really tired. So I think we can have a chance here. I think it's going to be a pretty achievable objective if nothing goes wrong. And it's a pretty big one, as you can see, 3 stars. So the next one, it's 4 stars, and it's another manageable objective. I think it's pretty similar to the other one. We arrive in Setúbal, so we go through the Serra da Rábida, so that's going to be flat, but again, few hills, and again, Saavedra is probably going to be our main guy here to try and achieve that result. Yeah, stage wins. It's always going to be tough. Volta ao Alentejo, it's usually not a race that has a very strong field, but we still have Portuguese teams that have pretty decent riders. At least on paper, a lot better than the ones that we have, so it's going to be tough to win a stage here. Well, we might try here to actually play these stages, because I think we got a chance. I mean, the competition might be better than us, but it's not absolutely. That's not very much a done deal for them, so to speak. And if that guy evolves, that guy we saw, Evangelista, if he gets better on sprint, I think we might have a chance here in some stages. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, every one of these objectives that has a stage win is always going to be a bit tougher. The ones that have top 10, I think, for the most part, we can get the top 10. Things go right. Girardins is a very hilly stage race. I'm not sure we are going to win the stage there. It's going to be probably pretty hard. But here again, top 10. Always going to depend on the field. If it's a weak field, maybe we can get a top 10. But in this international races, I think it's probably going to be tougher, because usually going to be stronger teams. Might even have a few World Tour teams in some of these. Not sure. Might point to, maybe not, but yeah. And again, another stage win. Top 10 here might be doable, but also probably hard as well. Yeah, and the last objective is here. Then we got objectives, but it's in August. They're not going to count for our sponsor confidence. So I think it's pretty important for us to get at least this first the objective from Figueira and Rábida. If we can get those two, and then maybe we can get few stage wins in Alentejo, for instance, and get these top 10s, and also get a good result in the Portuguese championships. We can get a top 10 there, or even better, top 5 would be great. Maybe that's going to be enough to have a super success. I'm not sure. If we can get a super success, we're going to improve our budget a lot, and that's going to be pretty good to improve this team going forward. Then what else can we do? We can look at scouting. We can look also at our staff. So we're gonna have a trainer, Portuguese scout, doctor. We're gonna have to have an Italian doctor, because we don't have any Portuguese doctors. Yeah, so we're gonna have an Italian doctor for now. Or we might fire that guy, hire a cheaper one, might be a better option. We want to save money as we can in this first season. So let's get the cheapest starter we can get. So Ruckert, looks like it's going to be you. You speak Portuguese? Probably not, but well, I guess medicine is the same everywhere, so don't really need to understand Portuguese. Yeah, well, you're German, so you'll probably work hard and study hard and understand Portuguese really soon. So, so what else can we look at? Let's look at scouting. I think I already put the scout in Portugal, our only scout, and obviously if we're going to have Portuguese riders only, it makes sense that we only scout in Portugal. So that's no real surprise there. So what else can we look at? Objectives. We'll have to define which rider will go to where, and we'll probably focus above all in the races our sponsors want to do well. Obviously that makes sense. So we already see here that Saavedra, for instance, has a really clear clear objectives. Volta ao Algarve, Volta ao Alentejo. Those Volta ao Algarve is not a sponsor objective, so I'm not sure we're going to focus a lot on that, even though if we could get a good result there, which we are not going to get, because Volta ao Algarve usually has a lot of World Tour teams. So yeah, that's not really gonna work. André Domingos seems like he has Figueira Champions Classic, which we like to see there. It's really important objective, and he is not that great at sprinting, so that's kind of a worry. And this guy here, Salvador, same thing. Evangelista, yeah. No one seems to have the Rábida Classic as an objective, and I'm gonna have to change that. So I'm gonna go, probably gonna go here first. So this guy is mostly a helper, and pretty much everyone wants to go to Volta a Portugal. It's not gonna be like that. Sorry guys. Some of you will have to skip that one. Actually, Almeida's probably gonna be there. It's probably good enough. Got two riders worse, I think, and those are Peralta and Francisco. So those riders will probably skip that. Let me see Saavedra. One I add the. I can take that Czech Republic thing there. We can keep it, but I don't think makes any difference. We're going to add two races here. New Zealand, should we add it? I don't think it's pretty realistic to think we can win there. So I'm probably not gonna go with that. I'm probably going to go with Figueira, and then we're going to add Rábida as an objective. Not February, it's March. Yeah, it's March. So okay, so he's gonna have that objective. And as Volta ao Algarve, I'm not sure we should keep it there. Yeah, it doesn't have too many objectives, so maybe it's okay. We're gonna add also, let's see, Evangelista, what he has. And probably put him with a Rábida also as an objective. Our main guys, at least, I think we should put them there. So what else we got? We got Domingos. He's also going to have a rabbit as an objective. And what other classics did we have? We had some other objectives. We'll have to wait and see, but we have to check that out. So Evangelista was the other guy. Salvador, I think. Salvador is also one of the top tier guys. A lot of guys in that Figueira Classic. Not so many here, so. And our guy, our sprinter guy, he might add some more races. What were the races that we had here in March? Okay, that's the only race, so it's probably April. Ardennes, that was an objective, but oh yeah, it's got Flash Ardennes in May, and he is probably going to add also Paris 3, and I don't think he's going to care a lot about Salto Algarve. Yeah. So then we're going to, what are the other weak guys? Gonna remove them from the bigger races. So you can actually go to Algarve there, bro. I don't mind. And what you can do is you can go to New Zealand Classic, because no one has that. So you can go there, you and let's say this guy here. So we're gonna skip Algarve as well. And he's going to go to New Zealand. Just a new, just a good just going to be a short trip to New Zealand from Portugal. I don't know how many hours that is, but it's going to be a big. Hope he's not riding a bike until New Zealand. It's going to be hard to get there. It's impossible, actually. Maybe it is. Maybe he can ride in his bike over the sea. That will be something. So what was the other guy we wanted to put here? And oh yeah, Francisco. This Francisco guy is also going to be a weak guy, so we're gonna put them here as well. And let's see the overview to see if we have more than, if we had too many riders here. Figueira, 7 riders. We got 6, so that's okay. Whew, Voltog, I've got too many guys here. Too many guys. Somebody's gonna have to not be there. I'm gonna go with these guys. Almeida. How many guys? 7. Gouveia. And got 4, 7. Okay, that's 7 now. That's fine. It's probably not a great part of the video, is it? Rábida. Alto Alentejo, a lot of guys in here. I have to take, again, I have to take 2 guys here, I think. Let's say take Almeida. 7, okay. And then we got Evangelista in there. And again, a lot of guys here. Take who? Who are we going to take here? A couple of the weaker guys, maybe. Okay, so Gouveia, for instance, now got 4, 8. So I got to take another guy out. That's fine. It's fine. And what else we got here? Eesh, Jesus, a lot of races. It's the national championships. God, a lot of races. Again, take the weaker guys. And let's say now for a change. Cabral, for instance, I don't know how many races they have. Don't really care too much about this. So Volta Portugal again, we're gonna have to take some of our weaker guys. And okay, it's gonna be close between these guys. Doesn't really matter. We're probably not gonna even make this race. Volta Portugal, in spite of being the biggest race for us, for the Portuguese riders, the fact that it doesn't really count for our sponsor confidence makes it kinda uninteresting, at least at this first season. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered it. So I'm gonna go with pre-season here. See pretty much everybody with Figueira. Oh, okay, so there's this one here. So high, very high for the guys that are going to be in New Zealand. Not sure they're gonna do much there, but and the other guys will put high, high, and high. Okay, I think that's okay. So okay, let's advance. Let's advance, and we are. I'm gonna finish the video really soon. Probably just gonna pause it, take care of this things that don't really matter, and then get back to you when we are ready to start our first race. Yeah, the first race of the season has just finished. I seemed all through it, and actually we were able to get a 16th place in the overall with André Rodrigues. It's kind of surprising. I don't think that's going to be any. I don't think our sponsor is going to value that result that much, but we were nowhere near a stage win. That was the objective, as expected. We can try and see here for sponsor tanks that is a interesting result. Not really, no surprise there. So yeah, we'll just sim this until the first race. Our first objective is going to be Figueira Classic. So let's go and go until there, till that point. So we simmed until the 12th of February. It's going to be the date of the Figueira Classic, and we already have some reports here from our scouts. We'll try to see if there is anyone here which is worthy of looking, having a better understanding of the value of the rider. So I got this guy here, 62 hills, might be interesting. Don't know much about the guy, but he might be an interesting guy. And what was the other guy we had? It was interesting. Yes, this Santiago Sá has got 1.5 stars evaluation. And we got here Angelo Maia, who has 62 mountain and has a 2-star evaluation. So we want to see the potential of those guys as soon as we can. So yeah, that's all we know for now. We can't really we can put a more detailed observation here for this Angelo Maya guy, and maybe for who can we go with? Let's look. Well, maybe Santiago Sá is gonna be the next guy, and then maybe this guy doesn't seem too great. Rather go with Isaac Rosa. I think it's a better option. And yeah, for now we'll look at these guys. This guy here might also be interesting. Might be. I'm gonna go with Rui Nobre. He's really young, 16 years old. So yeah, those are going to be the guys, and we're gonna go through with the race. First objective that we can realistically try and get. So it's gonna be Figure Classic. In terms of graphics, I'm going to go with the lowest possible uh, quality, because I think the race is going to be a lot smoother. It might not be so pleasing on the eyes, but I think it's probably going to be best to, in terms of performance here, and to get the videos done better as soon as we can. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this with these guys, most of our best guys here. So Salvador is not in, and it looks like he's in pretty good shape, so we might put him in and take one of the weaker guys out. Remember, this is has a bit of cobbling tone to it, but that's really not that much. So we're gonna go with probably our best riders here, unless they are in pretty bad form. So Felipe Francisco is not gonna be riding today. Gonna go with Salvador, and I mean, Vinicius Rodrigues can stay out as well. He's not in terrific form, so yeah. So strategy-wise, actually I think Saavedra is gonna be our main guy. Evangelista can kind of go as a sprinter, but if they let us, I don't know. I'm not sure they do. They don't allow us to put him as a sprinter, so okay, no problem. We'll go with everybody for Saavedra. Looks like the best option. I'm not sure it's even worth to put anyone on the break. See, probably not. Now let's look at our opponents. Wow, really? We got Bora and Sodal Quickstep here. So yeah, thus getting that top 10 just turned into a pretty hard task. I didn't expect this, really. Didn't really expect this for the Figueira Classic. It's a new race. I don't expect for the World Tour teams to come marching in. Got Alpecin as well, and we got Drag. Okay, well, we'll try to do our best. It's gonna be really hard. Maybe these riders are all in pretty bad form, as we are in February, and some of our guys are in pretty good form. So let's wait and see what happens. And here we are for the first race. Let's just try and see our new jersey. See what you guys think of it. Let's see here. Evangelista, look at that. So it's purple, white, bit of black there. That's pretty good. As you can see, we got the Koenig here, opposite the Koenig, and yeah, let's change this a bit. I like to keep this sort of like this, and so for now we'll keep it like this. It's a bit too far. Yeah, something like this. We might change it at some point. So there's a break going. I'm gonna just protect my best riders and just go with it, and then we'll get back to the video. I'll show you if anything relevant happens. I'm just going to show you how I do this. So I'm going to protect the guys that are in the best shape for today. So Saavedra is reasonably good. He's got 69 mountain, 68 hills for today. So it's probably going to be our best guy in the 64 sprint. Evangelista didn't draw too well today. He's got a -1, and I'm not sure he's going to be much of a factor here. I think those hills will probably destroy him completely. More confident in Salvador, probably. Might still protect Evangelista because our other guys aren't that great. So, yeah, actually, I'm gonna keep him as a free guy there. And this guy's going to protect Saavedra. This guy Almeida. Then Gouveia is going to protect Domingos. He's also 68 hills. It's not a great sprint, but it's a good guy to have in those final Ks to try and protect or launch Saavedra. And Salvador is also going to be protected. And I'm going to just keep these guys here in front. Just take a position there. And I'm going to stay here. There's a break going, 7 riders, but usually not those riders aren't that great. They're the kind of riders that are not going to have a great result. I mean, we still have some decent riders like Schlegel and Langolotti, but yeah. I'm gonna pause and return to the race as it unfolds and turns into something interesting, hopefully, for us. Okay, so 25 Ks to go, basically, a bit more than that, and we are at the last, getting close to that last time that we go through this climb. As you can see, my guys are pretty worn out. I think we have to make some adjustments here, and probably a guy like Evangelista is going to have to fetch some water, because I think Cabral wasn't able to get the water to our main guys, and they have to position themselves a bit further ahead. The break, still 2 guys there in front, but they're about to get caught. Saavedra is not in too bad of a shape right now. 60 guys here in front, which doesn't look too good for our chances, and I'm not sure if Evangelista is going to get the water to Saavedra, which is what we wanted to see happen. So Dominguez is gonna go and get the water now, if he can. Only 37 guys now up front. We got only 3 guys. We got Salvador now protecting Saavedra, and looks like Dominguez, let's see if he can get the water to at least Saavedra, and Saavedra got his water, his bottled water. So 10 Ks to go, and there's a few attacks in front, so that's not great. Well, hopefully they close this out. We still have to pass through the gravel section here. By the way, this is a new race, and we are making our career mode with World Database 2023, so that's the new database. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm trying it right now with this career mode. Looks pretty good right now, this race. For now, let's see. We need to form our train here, otherwise it's not like we have much of a chance of a top 10, but if we're not up there in front, it's gonna be even worse. So Savage is gonna be our last guy, and let's see if Dominguez can carry us to the front. That 13 guys, oh Jesus, we're not gonna get there with Dominguez at least. So Salvador has to carry Saavedra to the front. Let's see if he can do it. Saavedra is probably going to follow some of these guys. Like a guy like Casper Pedersen's a much better sprinter than him. Let's try to see if he can follow him. 600 meters, we'll sprint now. We're not gonna get that top 10. We're gonna get too far from it. But Not gonna get it.
He can thank his teammates who let him out in perfect conditions.
We are going to get 12th place. So, yeah. Yeah. And it's basically all World Tour teams. Yeah. I didn't expect the World Tour teams to be here. I'm the best rider of the non-World Tour teams. So yeah, we miss out on this first objective, and I didn't expect this to happen, but part of the game. Part of the game, and I think we're going to finish the first video. It's a bit long already. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like the video, please put a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and leave a comment if you like this kind of career mode videos. If you have something to say about the video, what I did good, what I did bad, let me know. I'm here to get your feedback. I'm always willing to know what I can do better, and what I'm doing right. So leave me those comments, and I will appreciate it. And yeah, let's see in terms of our sponsors if they are happy with this. Got the top 25 there, which is kind of something, I guess. Not sure it counts for something, but we'll have to just get to the next stage just to check that out really quick. Okay, it's a long day change because of the national championships. Okay, let's see. No, we don't even get an extra for getting the top 25. And now the noteworthy result. Saavedra gave us some interesting importance in terms of being in that classic, but yeah, missed out on that objective. Next video will go with the Clásica da Rábida. Hopefully the field's a bit softer then. In March, hopefully the World Tours, the World Tour teams are a bit busier with Spring Classics and all those races in March, like Paris-Nice and Tirreno and all that. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Again, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you. See you in the next one.